This book is about breaking out of that good girl box that we have all been forced into and stepping into our power.
Normally I'm quick to switch up my playlist. My mind, I'll pack my bag and don't say shit. I got what it takes to say this. I got all the plays and I played it out like this. I wanted to say this. I want us to make it. I'll trade it all for but it just hurts so much when it ain't working out. 'Cause I don't want nobody else but you. And I used to be on my replacement shit. I switched. Nigga, I'm so damn quick. If he ain't getting with my shit, but it just ain't like that, sure. I even had tried that shit with you. What I was done, I had to try something new. I don't know what I'll do. How was that a wasting time? You were never gonna take your mind. Tired of hearing all your lies, but I ain't wanna leave you lonely, so I come crawling back, hoping it won't be like that, hoping that you'll make a change, so that I can stay. So much when it ain't working out. 'Cause I don't want nobody else but you. And I used to be on my replacement shit. I switched. I made it out so damn quick. If he ain't getting with my shit, but it just ain't like that.
Hey y'all see I'm in my bedroom, so y'all clearly know what time it is. Welcome to the Softest Read, your favorite book review channel. I'm your girl Jasmine, and I'm here to do another spicy book review. And this week we will be covering a book that's an oldie but goodie to me, Zane's Sisters of APF, Alpha Phi Fuck 'em. So y'all, this is my second time reading Sisters of APF, Alpha Phi Fuck 'em, The Indoctrination of Soror Ride by Zane. I had no business reading this damn book in high school. Back then, baby, I thought this was the hottest thing I ever lay eyes on. Okay, any Zane book I thought was the hottest thing around. I used to be in school like blushing and everything and catching the attention of people that I should have caught the attention of, boys and girls too, my friends. Next thing you know, y'all, whenever I finished reading this book, I let a friend read it and she read it and passed my book around. Next thing you know, it was a Sisterhood of traveling book at my school, and it got into the hands of some girl I didn't even F with like that. That's crazy work. And I just had to get on my friend about that. But anywho, this really woke something up in me as a 15-year-old girl, a sophomore girl who learned to love reading about erotica and romance, and eventually led to me writing erotica and romance books. Here's a look at some of my books right here on the screen. Yes, so your girl, if you didn't know, your girl is an author too. Yes, I'm an author. I just actually celebrated my 9th authorversary on yesterday, March 21st. So whoop, 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 whoop. 9 years in the game and 11 books later, and here I am. I have not published a book, well, a fictional book, in a couple of years, since maybe the pandemic, since 2020. But I have published my latest, which is the self-help book. It's a journal back in December 2024 called Worthy to be Watered. But I have been working on some projects, y'all, and it's been a little difficult to finish something, if I'm being honest, just because I have a lot of things I'm really interested in, and it's so hard sometimes to just pick that one thing and stick to it. And when it comes to writing, you really have to remain consistent with it, because it's always so many people that are publishing books every day. There's hundreds of books being published a day. I will say it's very easy to get lost in the sauce and forgotten about. Thankfully, that's not the case for me. I do still have readers in my inbox who will ask me, when is part 2 of something coming out? And it get on my nerves, but also makes me feel so good that somebody is out here still thinking about a book that I wrote 5 years ago. And hopefully, by the grace of God, I get to a point where I can complete a book this year. I would love to complete at least 2 books. And really, I'm saying I would love to complete 2 books. I already have 2 books completed. I just gotta get out of my own way and just put them things out there, okay, honey? By the grace of God, I will get out of my own way, spruce it up, because right now it's just rough drafts, and I'm not the type of person to just put out my rough draft. I usually go through 2 or 3 drafts of the story, and that takes me a while to go through it, because I'm never, like, the first draft, the rough draft, do be good, don't get me wrong, but I don't like to, I've never been a person to just be in a rush to put anything out. I'm really in my soft girl era, so I'm not in a rush to just put anything out. Anything I do, just know it's a lot of intention, it's a lot of work put behind it, a lot of time, tender love and care, TLC, put behind getting that book out. Anything I put out, if I put it out this year, just know I have been working on it a couple years. Yeah, I'm not the type to just put out anything. I really wish I could be, because, you know, I have at least, to be honest, I have at least 10 books that are written. And I will say out of 10 of those books, 3 are complete. No, I'm lying, it's 4 that are complete. And if I really wanted to, I could just put them out. But I need strategy, I need structure, and I need to be intentional. I don't want to rush anything I put out. And then also, I'm thinking about publishing underneath the new pen name and being anonymous with it. I don't want anybody to know that they're mine. So if y'all see a new author pop up in the next 6-8 months, it might be a girl, you never know. But anyway, now that I'm a grown woman, y'all, I read this book when I was, like I said, when I was 15 years old. But now that I'm a grown woman, I want to see if it still hit the way it hit when I was still a virgin. So, you know, what's this? Oh, 6. So I still want to see if it still hit the same, okay? And I will say, y'all, Zane did her damn thing, okay? This book is so fun. Actually, I would have loved to read this with like a book club or something, so I can talk about it with my friends and have like maybe like a sorority party where everybody comes up with their own name, and it'll just be shits and giggles, you know, fun. So I would have loved to have read this with a book club. I love reading this because it is nasty, it's entertaining, but also it left me wanting more. So let's get into it. So APF is a whole secret society hiding in plain sight, y'all. Now on the outside of APF, it looks like this secret society is full of Black women who are elite, who are polished, beautiful, sophisticated, honey, untouchable. But once you're inside, once you really are a part of the sorority, you learn that this is an underground pleasure playground, okay? I'm talking about erotic rituals inside mansions, silk sheets, candles, wine pouring, bodies moving like sin, intimate, dangerous settings, designed to break you down and build you back up sexually. Designed for women who are just free and really in tune with their sexuality, which, if you know me and you've been listening to my videos on my YouTube channel, you know this is right up my alley. And the deeper you go, the more you realize that this is not about love or romance. This is all about power, control, and freedom for women. And to be honest, the world that Zane created is so rich, it's so secretive and low-key, makes you wonder if something like this exists for real. And I'm pretty sure one does. I definitely am aware, because I live in Houston and I have met some very interesting people who have been a part of these underground sex places and sex things where you get to wear colorful bracelets, and each bracelet means something different. If you got a purple bracelet, it means that you're gonna be a voyeur for the night. You're not gonna indulge in any of the sexual activities going on. If you have on a green bracelet, then you are open to anything and everything, honey. I have heard of stuff like this, so I'm pretty sure something similar to APF really exists out here, and I think that's what makes it even more interesting. Because Zane, where do you get this idea from? You know somebody in a sex sorority for real? That's tea. That's tea. So the story immediately pulls us into the world of Mary Ann. Mary Ann is sweet. She's soft-spoken. She's the girl who's always done what is expected of her. She's the kind of woman who keeps her head down. She's never too loud. She never takes up too much space. And for a while, that's what she thought would make her a good girl, a good woman, right? But it isn't until APF sees her. Like, they see the woman that she could be, and once they pull her in, it's over with. It's over with. She'll never be the same ever again. So Mary Ann gets inducted into the secret world of erotic rituals, dark pleasure, and sisterhood like you've never seen before. And by the end, she earns her new name, Soror Ride. And yes, it's as wild as it sounds. But you know, what really stuck with me while reading Mary Ann's story was just how familiar it felt. Like how common it is for women, especially Black women, to be raised on this idea that our goodness and our worth is tied to how we suppress ourselves. And what I mean by that is that we're taught early on to shrink, to be sweet, to be kind, to be quiet, to cross our legs, to keep our voices soft, and only take up just enough space to be noticed, but never do too much. Because somewhere along the way, we were made to believe that being a good girl is what makes us desirable. Not our dreams, not our minds, but how well we control or hide our desires. We grow up hearing it in little ways, like don't wear that skirt, it's too short. Cover your chest up. Boys might look and, you know, think you fast. Don't sit like that. Don't think like that. Why are you speaking so loud? Don't want sex, and definitely don't freaking enjoy it. Save your virginity. Protect it, preserve it for the right man. But they're never telling you that the man is supposed to be a virgin either. There's so many women I have met. This sounds so crazy, and it's not funny either, but there's so many women I have met who are saving themselves for marriage, and they don't care if their man is a virgin or not. And to me, I don't understand it. It's not meant for me to understand, but you see where I'm going. Like, we are conditioned to think that's okay. The message has always been cleared up. Be this, that, and the third, so you can find you a good man, a good husband, Savannah. A good man, Savannah. But God forbid you have any cravings of your own, because then you're fast. By then, you're doing too much. By then, you need to slow down. You looked at it as a worldly woman, like a woman that's out here in these streets, a harlot. How dare you have these thoughts? And I really feel like that's a crock of bullshit. That's a crock of bullshit. And that bullshit was nothing but conditioning to keep us down, to keep us in place, if you will. And it runs so freaking deep, y'all. If y'all really think about the condition that was put upon us as kids, as adolescents, like yeah, granted, I get it, you know, you didn't want your kids to grow up too damn fast, but I feel like some of the things that they told us really kind of like suppressed us. It suppressed our individuality and our creativity, and us really tapping into our womanhood. And it's so crazy because a lot of the things that I learned to actually become a woman, what makes a woman, I had to learn on my own. I had to learn from being out here in the world, you know, going to college by myself like Mary Ann, and being really thrusted into a world that you don't know, and having to learn real quick. And that's why it resonates. So Mary Ann's character resonates so much with me, because I was literally just like her, literally trying to be the good girl. I'm not gonna tell y'all my business, but I ain't gonna tell y'all my business. I was gonna tell y'all some stuff to catch myself. Lordy, look, if I'm gonna have a YouTube channel, I gotta be honest. I gotta tell my damn business. But I had an account like Mary Ann, you know, like once you open up Pandora's box, like let me just say this. I was just like her, you know, very vanilla, very like, I'm not gonna do that. No, like girls who do that, they hoes and yada yada. I used to think hoes was like a really bad thing, and don't get me wrong, it can be, but I feel like we need to stop policing other women and what they do with their coochies. You know, like what they do does not, if it does not directly affect you, then why are you so bothered by it? Like, it's so many women out here that I see where people are like, oh shit, passed around. And they say that about old girl, what's her name? Damn, I don't forgot her name. Damn, she used to date Michael B. Jordan. What is her name? I'm about to look it up. Hold on. Lori Harvey, y'all. Lori Harvey. She be getting a lot of flack on the internet because she is considered a quote-unquote pass around, and she quick to hop on to the next dude. Me, I'm clapping it. I'm clapping for sis. You know, it does not bother me because it's not my coach. But there's so many people, like what I've been saying, we're conditioned to think like these horrible things about these women who do stuff like that. And I just feel like if it's not your life and it does not directly affect you, if they're not causing harm, I don't see the big deal. It just don't. But again, I was seeing, let me get back on track. I was seeing a lot of similarities and parallels of my life to Mary Ann's because college was a whole new world for me. It was when I really started getting attention from men. Let me tell you something about the Target Walk at Texas Southern University, my alma mater. Like, I literally had to learn a new way to get to classes every day because it never failed. Every day I walked on the Target Walk to get to my class. And if you don't know what a Target Walk is, it's just a walkway that leads to all the buildings at Texas Southern University. You walk down the Target Walk and you get to everything. And literally, kid y'all not, every day I was getting some new guy's number. Like, it was inevitable. Like, I couldn't help it. I was the finest thing walking. No, but I'm serious, y'all. Like, on a serious note, like, it was so hard where I would get caught up, and next thing you know, I'm talking to the guy, just chatting it up, and then I would be late to class. And I had some professors who were assholes who would be locking the door after 15 minutes if you're late. Or, you know, 15 minutes past, you might as well just not go to class because the class is only 50 minutes long. You know, I already missed the first 15 minutes, and yeah, I was getting caught up. But anyway, me and Mary Ann had a lot of parallels. Like, it was, college was a whole new world for us. We both were good girls until we got thrust into college life. College is where I really got in tune with my sensuality, where I learned a lot of stuff about myself and things that I like, things that I don't like, things that I was just too shy to even voice. Not even too shy. I felt like I didn't have a voice to voice it until I met somebody who really helped me pull that out of myself. So APF was like that for Mary Ann. The sorority APF was the thing that helped Mary Ann really realize who she is as a woman and help her tap into something that she's never tapped into before. And then you actually see her transformation in the story. You see her not only become sororitic, but you see her become a stronger, more outspoken woman. I really feel like I said in a previous video, orgasms really lead to some kind of awakening in women. I'm convinced. Good orgasms, I should say. Good orgasms. But anyway, I've done lost track, y'all. Let me get back on track. So, and I have my notes here. So if y'all see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Usually I have it printed out, but today we're reading off the computer, okay? I will say Mary Ann's story was predictable for me. Even though this is my second time reading this book, I feel like if I had read this for a first time, because there's a lot about the storyline I had forgot, so it was like me reading it for the first time. Mind you, it's been 15-16 years since I read the book, so it was like new again for me. But what I'm trying to say is her story was a little bit predictable for me. And the reason why I say that is because, again, it was a lot of parallels to my life, and I already knew where it was going. I was like, sis is going from scared to savage real quick. But the beauty in that is watching her become a badass woman, you know, watching her step into herself. I literally love it. I love seeing women come to and stand up. Stand up. I love it. So we watch her realize she doesn't have to be scared of her pleasure. We watch her take up space and speak up and own her body. And by the time she becomes sororitic, y'all, she's that girl. Not because anybody gave her permission, but because she took it. Period. So y'all, I'm gonna talk about some other sorors in the story. So Soror Sweet Thing, she's like the soft seductress, y'all. And baby, when I tell you, this woman is a walking fantasy. Like, she's smooth talking, she's confident, she's sassy, and she knows she's that girl. She is actually the first one to see something in Mary Ann, and she, like, not that she's a fixer, but she sees something in her and she wants to pull it out of Mary Ann. Not by force, not by pressure, but I will say, Soror Sweet Thing, she is a reason why women find themselves doing shit that they swore they wouldn't do. Because the way she moves, she's super persuasive. She's the one that is here with a shot, and you just say you're not doing no more shots. And she's like, here, girl, take a damn shot. And you take the shot. Because the way she moves, honey, she makes you want to say yes to everything, okay? And then there's Soror Deep Throat.
Damn, girl. Y'all got some names on that now.
Y'all, these names had me weak. Soror Deep Throat, though. She's the mouthpiece and the wild card in the story. She is like a girl's girl. She's your loud best friend. Every friend group has a Soror Deep Throat, okay? She is the loud friend. She's the nasty friend. She's the friend with no filter. She's a friend that you sometimes have to warn your other friends before you introduce her. You gotta warn them about her. Like, yeah, my friend can be a little loud, but she lovable, she cool as fuck. That's Soror Deep Throat. But why I like her so much, she holds nothing back. Soror Deep Throat reminds you that your mouth is not just for talking. And pleasure, it doesn't have to come with the guilt, baby. And I absolutely adored her character so much because she kept it real. And then, y'all, we have Soror Justice. And Soror Justice, she's the calm in the storm, but she can also be the storm too if you're not secure. What I mean by that is that she's not the loudest in the room like Soror Deep Throat, but when she speaks, everybody listens to her. She's an enforcer. She's the one that keeps the sisterhood going, and she's the one that keeps the sisterhood tight. I don't want to give too much away if you haven't read the book, but they typically have get-togethers, and she makes sure that these get-togethers go the way they're supposed to go for everybody to be safe and to have fun. But don't get it twisted, she's just as nasty too, like everybody else in the damn book. Have y'all ever met, like, Madam President really reminds me of the type of women that really can walk into a room and command the room. Like, you just feel her presence, and like, you can't help but look at them. You know, they naturally stand out. That's the type of woman Madam President is. Like, you low-key look up to her. You want to be friends with her, but you low-key scared of her too. Like, you know, that's a bad chick. That's a bad chick, okay? And Madam President is one of those ladies. She's the head bitch in charge. She's the HBIC. And pretty much every challenge that Mary Ann goes through, because it is indoctrination, she does go through some things to become a part of the sorority, but the things that she goes through, Madam President sets it up. Like, this is all Madam President is doing just to see if she's really fitting for their sorority. Like, it's not something that you can be easily inducted into just because you like sex. Like, you really have to be a woman of quality, and they have certain standards. Believe it or not, they do. So I'm not gonna say what they are. Read the book. It's a fun read, y'all. Y'all are gonna be laughing, y'all. It was a good time. Now let me tell you what I really felt about this book. Now, to me, it's full of sex, okay? 95% of this book is full of sex. It's all about sex. But also there's 5% that's about women embracing their sexuality and their sensuality and getting in tune with that side of themselves. And it's also about sisterhood. This is about being fully seen and having people who see you for you. Every dark, nasty, and secret part of you, and still being told that you're safe here. Like, you don't have to pretend to be somebody that you're not, like, for sisters, which is something I really liked about the book too. Outside of the sex was fun, the sex was juicy, and of course seeing women really tap into their sensuality, that's always nice to see. But another good theme about this book was the sisterhood of it, and very few books do sisterhood really well, and Zane was able to capture that really well in this book, and I really enjoy reading about the sisterhood that's being built amongst the ladies in the book. This book is about breaking out of that good girl box that we have all been forced into and stepping into our power, stepping into your body, stepping into your pleasure. And Zane really gives Black women permission to be soft, to be nasty, to be powerful, to be unashamed of their desires and their wants. all at the same time, and I respect her for that. Now the spice level is a 10 out of 10. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like, it's so full of bold, erotic sex, just nasty sex. You are gonna be fanning yourself. And if I'm gonna need this, a toy, which I will be giving a review on after this review. Zane knew what she was doing with this. This woman had me feeling like I need to go get a drink and I'm gonna have a moment with myself to release this pent-up tension, honey, because the sex scenes were on fire. And literally there was sex every other damn page. It's sex all up and through this damn book. It is a true definition of an erotic fiction book. Definitely highly recommend. If you love erotic fiction, you cannot say you love erotic fiction and never have read this damn book. Point blank period. But if we're talking about the storyline outside of the spice level, because the spice level is chef's kiss, but if we were talking about the storyline, I would have to give it a 3.5 out of 5, just because like the storyline left me wanting more, and I felt like it was a lot of sex, but I also want to see more of Mary Ann and more of also some of the ladies and how they got indoctrinated into the sorority. And then also I feel like I didn't read like how it came about. I like knowing the history or something. Please tell me how something came about. Like, I want to know when did this start and who started it. And I feel like, I don't know if they had said it in the book. I don't know. I feel like I didn't get that. And like I said, Mary Ann's character was very predictable. You see her transformation coming a mile away. You know she's going to be indoctrinated into this sex sorority, and you know she's gonna be turned the fuck out. But maybe the point of this story was to turn you on too, to turn you out, maybe indoctrinate you into the world of APF. Okay, because this book turned me on so much that I had to take a moment to release as well. I had to go have a moment with my new friend. And y'all, if y'all have watched my last smut book review, you know I was talking cash money shit about this, and I'm ready to let y'all know what I really feel about it. But if that is the case, and Zane's intention was to turn us on, the readers, enough to want to be indoctrinated into the world of APF, then baby, she delivered. She heavily delivered. But plot wise, I will say the story just didn't excite me as much as my favorite smut reads that I have read on this channel. And honestly, I wish there was a sequel. Like, I really want to know more. I need more. So yeah, Sisters of APF is well worth the read, honey. You are gonna have a good time reading this story. It's wild, it's nasty, and low-key liberating. And I love to see it. I love that. I love it so much. If you're looking for deep plots and what the fuck just happened type of storylines and twists, you will not find that here in Sisters of APF. You will not. But what you will find is that your pleasure belongs to you, and it's time to tap in. Now to my favorite part, y'all. I did an unboxing of the Black Rose here in my last video book review of Match My Nasty. And when I initially tested this on camera, I was like, this is not giving. Like, this, do walk it on. There we go. This ain't do nothing for me. And I was like, this ain't gonna do nothing for me for real. Like, I feel like this vibration that I'm feeling on my palm was not strong enough, and it just didn't interest me. And I was like, yeah, this is not the sex toy for me. But later that night, after putting her on the charge a little bit, maybe she needs to be charged a little bit, honey, and I came back to her and I used the rose, and I take all that shit talking back, y'all. This thing here, the truth. This thing rendered me so many orgasms since then. I think I did that book review like 2 weeks ago, baby. I've been using this sex toy. I've used it so many times in the past 2 weeks. I have not even touched my other one, which is my tried and true sex toy. I have not touched her. That's crazy work. This little thing here really packs a lot of power, and it shocked me. It shocked me so much. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, okay, now I see what all the hype is about this little old thing right here. Why Chloe Bailey even made a whole song about it. Like, and I remember when I purchased it, it was just like a little, I was like, oh, it's only $19. Let me go ahead and purchase this and see what the hype is about. And then I saw the reviews too, and I was like, people really hyping up the Rose. I don't like small sex toys. It's smaller than the palm of my hand. I don't like small sex toys. I need something I can really hold on to. But baby, when I tell you this thing right here, I take all that shit back. I didn't mean it. This is one of my favorite sex toys to use right now. I'm having so much fun. And I highly suggest y'all get one too. I have linked it down into the description box to get this beautiful thing right here. This black rose. And she's so soft and velvety. Get y'all black rose. Okay? You heard it here first. Maybe you haven't, but you're hearing it here. Again, this rose is everything. Get you one, okay? But that's it for me, y'all. I had to come and tell y'all that this thing right here, I talk so much mess about it, but it's really that thing. It's really that thing. I will never talk mess about a sex toy again until I try it. Because don't knock it till you try it. I learned a hard lesson. Do not knock things until you try it, period. And with that, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me again for another spicy book review for the Softest Read, where we talk about sexy, spicy, and sweet romance and erotica books, pretty feet care routines, and self-care routines, because we're all about being hydrated hotties over here and having smooth skin. But in the meantime, keep reading these spicy ass books and keep hydrating your skin, keep being sexy, keep being in tune with your sensuality, and I will see y'all next time. Bye. Hold on, y'all. Before y'all go, I need to know, what would your soror name be? Drop it in the comments. Get creative. Make it nasty. I want to see them. Me, I'm claiming Soror Honey Drip, because everything about me, my voice, my content, my vibe, just feels warm, sticky, sweet, and intentional. Honey is healing, but baby is also seductive. I'll see y'all next week. Mwah.